Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. Hope everyone's doing well. So today we are going to do some garden prepping. We're going to try to combat some weeds. I have some ideas for that. But first we're going to milk out Strawberry and Rosemary. Rosemary's outside eating some alfalfa, and we still have the babies, and the babies are going to be going to the auction this weekend. So kind of sucks. At first we were going to keep shortcake, but then we did a huge mistake, and I'll explain that to you in just a minute. But let's first go ahead and milk out Miss Strawberry. Okay, let's go. Come on. So now I have been getting approximately almost 2 liters of milk from Miss Strawberry. So depending on how fast I can milk them out, once I let them out after milking, then the babies will pretty much take the rest of the milk that's left. They are still nursing, and I'm sure they'll keep nursing until we remove them, but they're doing so good, you guys, and it's going to be so sad. So I found out that in order to remove the horns, to dehorn them, you have to do it within the first 10 days. And like 10 days after they're born, when the horns start to come out. I did not know that. And so the horns got too big, and it is just too hard to dehorn them, and it's very painful. And so just the other day, one of the puppies, Buddy, our newest one, got into the stall, and Strawberry rammed him, and he threw him against the wall. Almost, she could have trampled him, and she could have killed him. So then when I saw her rear up again to go after him again, I swooped him up. But by the time I grabbed him and swooped him up, Strawberry already hit me in my back. So I have a huge bruise in my back because she reared up, and she got me pretty good. And I couldn't imagine if she had horns, oh my goodness, what that would have done. So unfortunately, as much as I like Strawberry, we just cannot have that, a goat with horns, because Shortcake, as much as I like Shortcake, we just can't have a goat with horns. Because as calm as Strawberry is, not that I think she meant to do it, but if there was a kid and she had horns, or, if it was just me alone and she had horns, oh my goodness, that would have been horrible. That would have been horrible. So, yeah, that was a tough decision to make, to have to get rid of Shortcake, because I really like her a lot. She's so sweet, but she's going to make a good pet for somebody. And so, Miss Strawberry, come on. And so I think that's going to be great. So let's just get this milking done, and then I'm going to go out there to the garden and show you what is happening, what is growing. So many things are growing, guys, and it's just awesome. And I cannot wait for this, the tomatoes, to get the tomatoes. I can't wait for this tomato season. It's going to be amazing. So let's just keep on milking. All right, it is the next day, and yesterday after milking Strawberry and Rosemary, I just came out here and started working and completely forgot what I was doing. I completely forgot I was going to give you a garden tour. So I'm here to give you a garden tour as to what is happening in the garden. Now, it is pretty sunny and it's pretty bright out, but I'm still going to show you this little garden vlog, because if I don't do it, then it's going to be a long while before I pick up the camera, because this season for us is super busy in the landscaping business. We are busy redoing containers. You know, just everything is blooming. Everything is just needs a little bit of attention, and the garden needs attention too. And so with work, you know, every time you go to work, it's hard to come home and work in the garden because it's so hot. So some of the mornings I have been getting up super early, milking out the goats, and then trying to get a lot of work done around the farm, because after Berry Fest, there's just a lot of stuff here and there. And so I want to organize all those things. So little by little, we've been organizing the house, and, you know, just trying to keep up on things. So daily stuff, daily life things. But I have an idea on what I'm going to do. So at first, before I want to give you this garden tour, in the last video, I was talking about wanting to get some of these metal garden beds. And I love them. I think they're beautiful. But they also cost like $200, and that's a lot of money, because I have a lot of garden beds. And granted, I wanted to move some of them and get rid of some, which I might still do, like these two right here that I'm going to show you that we planted the zucchini and the beans. I'm still debating whether I want to move those garden beds, because I think I have a fix for the weeds, you guys. And I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner, but so I have been thinking, like, oh my gosh, these weeds are driving me nuts. I want to put some weed killer down. That vinegar concoction, that high grade vinegar, like that 30% vinegar, really does work with the salt and soap. It just takes a lot of it, but it does work. And that's the most natural way to go about it. But you guys, these wooden garden beds, I might not have to replace them at all, because we have these thick tarps from doing events. We have so many of them. And so what I was thinking, in order to suppress the weeds, I'm just going to put that tarp right on top of the garden bed and staple it down and kill the weeds so they can't grow in through the tarp, and then just kill the weeds on the outside of the garden bed. You guys, I don't know why I didn't think about that. It just popped into my head the other day when I was looking at a particular area of the garden bed, thinking like, oh, I just want to pull out some of these plants and put some paper down, like cardboard, and suppress the weeds and then replant the plants. And then I thought, I could do that to the garden beds. And so at first I was going to put like black garbage bags, and then I have some like really thick construction paper, and I was going to put down on top of that. But then, even better, I have these really thick plastic tarps that I could just lay over the top of them, because we have so many of them. So yeah, let's get on with this garden vlog. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is a garden bed that I let get out of hand. Let it get out of control. This is some celery that has obviously gone to seed, and I don't have the heart to pull it out because it brings so many pollinators. I see so many bees and just bugs that are attracted to this. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I do see a lot of bees that come in here and just, you know, like this. But I am going to pull all this out because I do want to put the tarp over this garden bed and suppress some of these weeds and see how it does. So that's what's happening in this little square garden bed. It's a little 4x4 garden bed, and soon it's going to be weedless, which I'm super excited. Now let me show you what's happening in this garden bed behind me. All right, so over here in this garden bed, we have some zucchini. We have two different types of zucchini. One is by Gurney's and one is by Lake Valley Seed Company. And so I put a bunch of seeds in here. I do see some seeds popping up. So let me go ahead and show you how they're looking. So I see probably a few on both sides. Oh no, this one looks like it's dying. Is it? Oh no, it's a weed. Never mind. That one can die. Little weed. Okay, so we do have a few. So let me show you what's happening. So we have some seedlings popping up right there. Do you see that one next to that weed? Then we have these two right here, and a couple of them right here, right there. Do you see? It's pretty bright out here, you guys. But yeah, so there's a few of them popping up. Not too many on that side right there, but it's still pretty early. So that is what's happening in this garden bed. I cannot wait to get these zucchini. I think it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to see how they're going to look and how they're going to grow. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is where we have the beans, the jade beans. And I don't have anything popping up yet. I don't see anything popping up but weeds. So maybe they just need a little bit more time, or maybe I need to plant more. Maybe there's birds that are eating them, maybe roly-polies. I'm not too sure. But that's what's happening over here in the jade bed, is in the bean bed. Nothing yet. All right, so let's go off to the other bed where we planted some melons. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is the garden bed that we started some melons, and no melons yet. I hope we get some melons. I don't know if I put the straw on too thick, but these weeds seem to be finding their way to the surface. So I'm really praying that we get some melons. I don't see anything at all. And I've been digging in the garden beds, and I know I shouldn't be, but I do. I kind of, you know, I get so excited and I start digging around to see if these are growing. But that's okay. So that's okay. I'm okay with that because I've never had success with melons. And it would be a great surprise if some of them pop up. But there's a lot of weeds in there. Lots of weeds. All right, so let's go off to the next bed where I did plant some cucumbers. All right, so over here in this garden bed, we have some cucumbers. And we do have a few little seedlings growing. I should put some straw around. I feel like I put the straw too thick because some of these seedlings are a little bit leggy, just a little bit. And so like I feel like maybe the other weed, maybe the other cucumbers were growing. Like these ones are so leggy. So I'm going to try to pop them in a little bit deeper just so that I have a good chance. There we go. Let me show you. See these two little guys? I'll give you a closer look once I get them good and buried. There we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 of them growing. And so far, so good. And the soil is staying moist because of the straw. But I just want to make sure that I kind of cover them up a little bit so the birds don't come and eat them. Because we have been having one bird that comes in here and he's been pulling off the heads of my seedlings. And so I'm thinking about building some scarecrows. Yeah, I've never built a scarecrow before, but I think we need some. All right, so that is what's happening in the cucumber area. I hope we get a bunch of cucumber and I hope more seedlings pop up. But I feel like I need to pop in some more seeds into the other garden beds just because I think that I made the straw too thick. But there's a few things growing, some squash. I don't see any beans, so maybe those are, and maybe some more cucumber. But I have jumped the gun before and I have planted more seeds and then all the seeds popped up. So I'll just wait a little while. All right, so let me go ahead and show you how the Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes, are doing. They're doing phenomenal. Let me show you. All right, so over here we have some Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes, and had I known that they are an invasive type of plant, I probably would have put them in a container that had a bottom because these grow crazy. And we did have a windstorm, so it did blow it over just a little bit, and these have some beautiful yellow flowers though. So it does produce quite a bit. It has a texture of a water chestnut almost. It's delicious. It's great, especially if you ferment them. They're really good for your gut health. So you ferment them and then you can put all your seasonings, just like any kind of pickling, anything like that. It'll just take the flavor of whatever spices that you put in the jar. And then I also planted some asparagus because I had no idea that the sunchokes were this invasive. Because we have sunchokes growing outside of the garden bed right now. So, but we've just been digging those ones out, and I know we're probably never going to get all of them, but we do have a bunch of asparagus growing in here, but I can't see it because of the sunchokes. So note to self, never do that again. We also have a ton of flowers growing. Look how beautiful this is, you guys. Isn't that so pretty? We have some gladiolas growing, and they're all in bloom. I think this is alliums. Yes, alliums. And then we have some dahlias, dinner plate dahlias that are going to be blooming soon. But I just love the way this looks with the white bushes. I wish I remember the name of these bushes. I know we have it somewhere, but isn't that so pretty right there? I need to work on the drip so we can get drip coming down the side, because lately I've just been hand watering that. And then over here we have our lemongrass. I really need to do something about it. I remember when I planted it, it was tiny, it was so cute, it was a little green bush, but it has gotten wild, and I need to come in here with some gloves and prune it, like take out all the dead leaves and really give it a 1-2. And I feel like that's an all-day project, because I know there's probably bugs inside there, like spiders and things like that, and I do not like spiders. Okay, so over here we have our blackberry bush, our thornless blackberry bush, and it is doing fantastic. And then I noticed, because I did have this blackberry bush when it was little in a container with some raspberries, and the raspberries are growing, you guys. Look, there's one right here. Is it ready? No, there's one little raspberry right there. I noticed it the other day when I saw a bunch of raspberries on the ground, and oh my god, and they're so delicious. They're so sweet. See, I missed these ones. These ones are all dried up. I totally forgot that I had a raspberry bush in here. And so it has been giving us some raspberries. Now the blackberries, not so much. Not so much. We've gotten a few here and there, but I feel like I need to fertilize it. That's why it's not giving me a lot of raspberries. Now let me go ahead and show you how the peppers are doing. So right over here, we have our pepper bed. We have some Thai pepper, we have some bell pepper, we have some jalapenos. What else do we have? A few different type of sweet pepper and a regular, I left the tags in the bed so I know which ones are which. And I just bought all of these peppers except for a couple of them, the smaller ones. I did plant those from seed. I just didn't have that many, so I ended up going to the store to buying, buying a whole bunch. And these ones are already starting to give fruit, but they're so tiny. So I cannot wait until these get bigger. But this is a little pepper patch right over here doing really good. It's just been so hot the last few days, so I had to, and we just got the drip system fixed, so I've been giving them some deep watering. All right, so that's how the peppers are doing. So now let's go ahead and move off to the potato patch. So over here, I call this our potato patch because I have so many different varieties of potatoes growing in here. I have purple potatoes, gold potatoes, red potatoes. I just kind of, every time I have a potato that's going to seed, I come over here and I pop it into the garden bed. So we have been growing so many potatoes in here, and the potatoes are so delicious. So I have a couple purple potatoes, and if you haven't tried one of those purple potatoes, they're delicious. They're so good. I don't know, they're like a little bit sweet. I don't know, you just have to try it. It's delicious. So that's what's going on in this potato patch. Some of it's yellowing because I feel that it didn't get enough water, and sorry guys, I had to pull out this weed, but yeah, they're all doing pretty good. I feel like they're doing pretty good. Some of them look a little leggy, but that's okay. So now here's one of the garden beds that I was thinking at first I was going to take out, but now that I'm thinking about I can kill the weeds, I might not take out this garden bed. So I might just move this table right over here with all the plants. These are some commercial plants, some plants that I might put into the garden and decorate. But yeah, that's just, I can move that one and put the big metal container in that spot to grow things in. So while I'm killing the weeds in the garden bed. So this is one of the garden beds that I'm hoping I can suppress the weeds, kill off all the weeds, and not have to deal with weeds, you guys. That's going to be so awesome. If I could do that next year, it's going to be a game changer. So yeah, this is going to be great. All right, so over here in this garden bed, we have a bunch of beans. You guys, we have so many different beans. I did pull out one plant yesterday that had some aphids, but these ones all look really good. I don't see any aphids. We have some purple beans. No, I thought, yeah, I think I did. I planted some purple beans. Let me show you how beautiful some of these flowers are. They're so pretty. Look at those. Aren't those so pretty? And then you can see a little bean growing right there, you guys. Do you see that little guy? So cute. So this is the bean patch. It's doing fantastic, growing super good. We have some beautiful dahlias, red dahlias. Look how pretty. It's so bright. They're super bright. So beautiful. And I just deadhead them. And I just let them go and decompose into the garden. Super easy. Now let me show you the tomatoes on the other side. So now here we have some rainbow blend tomatoes, and they are doing so good. Look how beautiful. Now, I know I have two different varieties. So this is the Midnight, and I believe these are from Gurney's. Look how beautiful those are. And then these are the Rainbow. Aren't those so pretty, you guys? Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see how these taste. I have not ever tasted these before, so I'm excited to see how they produce. And so far, I'm pretty happy with the way the Midnight snack looks. Delicious. Now over here we have our Myers lemon, and you can see some lemons growing. Oh, I'm so excited. There's quite a few of them. If you really look, you can see quite a few popping up on this little Myers lemon. It's really producing good. In this garden bed, we have our 8 eggplant. We have 8 eggplant growing in here, and so we're going to get quite a few eggplant. I am so excited. Last year or the year before, I learned how to make a dish, and it was so good, so delicious. And so I'm hoping that this year I can make some and then freeze it and see how it turns out, and hopefully it's delicious. So I'm excited to get some eggplant and to cook with it. I also put it in our spaghetti sauce, and so it's fantastic. And it's so it grows prolific. It has so many fruits, so many eggplants. It's amazing. I love it. Now over here in this little wheelbarrow, I have some cilantro growing right over there that's kind of going to seed. We have some parsley right there, and we have some dill right here in the middle that I cannot wait to use in our pickles. How awesome is that? Looks like John just got back from work. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is where we have our Ace 55s. Now, this is what I'm going to be using for like stewed tomatoes and things like that, are the Ace 55s. And so far, they are doing so good. I know I have a few. Did I see some fruit the other day? No, I think it was in the other ones. But it's doing so well, and I cannot wait. Now, I did plant these and start these a little later, but I think they're going to do fantastic, and I cannot wait to see how big the fruit is. This is the first time I've ever grown the Ace 55, so yeah, I'm excited. Over here in this garden bed, this is where we have our pickles. Now I have these pickles. I'm going to use them for pickling, eating fresh, and things like that. And I did put up our trellis. This trellis, these little trellis things, these are called masonry ladders, and I just get them from the Home Depot, and they work so well. They're light, they're easy to store, and I just pop them right here into the garden beds for anything that needs trellising, and they work fantastic. So that's what I have going over here. Is I'm just going to trellis these cucumbers over the masonry ladder. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is where we have our sun golds, you guys, and they're looking so good. Look how good they're looking. Ooh, we have our first tomato, you guys. We have 2 of them. Yum, look at that. Sweetie, you want the other tomato? You want to try this tomato? Here you go. You're too hot. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for him. He's too hot. But yeah, these sun golds are doing so good, you guys. I am so excited. I'm sweating up the storm, and I'm so excited to get these sun golds. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so good. All right, so let me go and show you. Now, in the other garden bed right next to this one, I planted some chamomile and some beans, and the beans are popping up. I don't see any chamomile because I spreaded it in the, I placed it over the top of some weeds. So over here, we have some Brussels sprouts, which I will never plant Brussels sprouts in a garden bed like this again. I probably put it in the ground. It takes so long for them to develop, and they take so much space. So I don't know. I might not do that again. But we do have some beans right there. You see that? We have 1, 2. I did pop in quite a few. We have a remnants of a carrot. Oh, there's another one right there. But we have so many weeds in here. And then I found the chickens in here scratching around. So, yeah, that was not a good thing. I do need to clip the wings of the chickens because they have been flying the coop and laying eggs everywhere. Everywhere. Every day. It's like an Easter egg hunt every single day. All right, so over here in this garden bed, I have our San Marzanos, right? Is that right? Yes, Aroma Supremos. And they're doing fantastic. We have a bunch of them growing. I have fertilized the garden, and I have been fertilizing it with some fish emulsion and bat guano, and I just do it once a week on a Friday. And I'm pretty consistent with it. Last year I wasn't that consistent with it, but prior years I have been, and the production of fruit you get from the tomatoes and from all the plants, it's like a game changer. So it's definitely important to feed the soil to make sure that the soil has all the nutrients that it needs in order to produce this fruit, this beautiful fruit, delicious fruit. I don't know if we call it fruit. I call it a fruit. So that is what is happening in the garden. And then we have this garden bed right here. This is another garden bed right here. You can't even see it because it's full of weeds. That I'm going to put that tarp over the top. You guys, I am so excited about that idea, and I think it's going to work. And I think I'm going to kill these weeds, and I'm going to conquer that. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this video. Hopefully this encourages you to plant some seeds. It's not too late. We're in zone B, and we have a pretty long growing season. So if you live in our zone and you want to plant some seeds, I'm going to pop some more beans and maybe some more cucumbers and maybe some more melons, maybe some pumpkins, I don't know, in some of the garden beds, and before we, kill them all. Because I think I'm going to, once the season is up, I'm going to put a tarp over the top of these garden beds and then kill these weeds once and for all, which would be awesome. All right, so thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Take care, be safe, and I'm excited. This is like our first garden tour, you guys. It's exciting. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.